to have listened to my proposal, Mr. Porritt.
You can call me Hercules. Why do you insist on calling me Mr. Porritt after all of these months of working together? How long is it now that you've been working as my assistant?
5 months, Hercules.
That's more like it, but I still can't undertake any other proposition, especially at this kind of year.
Christmas time. A real old-fashioned English Christmas in the lovely Devonshire countryside. What could be better?
The Caribbean? That would be more my style, Miss Maple.
Think of what you'll be missing. Snowball fights with the young ones, roast chestnuts by the fire, turkey, goose, Christmas crackers, champagne, caviar, shortbread biscuits in bed, not to mention Elsie, the cuddly kitchen maid.
No, not for me, Miss Maple. I've got a few treats of my own lined up here in London this year. Anyway, the countryside is always so shockingly cold at this time of year. In the winter, I rarely leave the capital.
But, sir, this is a matter of some urgency, and might I say, some delicacy, and you can rest assured that you'll be well recompensed. What with all these bills still to be paid?
Really? How well recompensed? Tell me more.
You see, there's been a series of murders every year for the past 5 years.
5 years? That sounds rather careless.
Lady Muxley wants them solved pronto.
Sounds like a matter for the police to me.
That's the problem. Lady Muxley doesn't want to involve the police. She wants to keep it all very hush-hush. If word gets out, it would cause a major embarrassment among Lord Muxley's city friends. So that's when I thought of us. You. Hercules Porritt's investigations. Discretion is our byword.
It's time I got rid of that slogan.
The best private detective in Highgate and Muswell Hill.
And the cheapest.
So, are you up for it, sir? It would be a major embarrassment. You could pay me back my wages as well.
So, tell me more about this Muxley Manor.
I can do better than that. I'll show you what happened thus far. Watch carefully. Allow me to introduce to you the guests of Muxley Manor. And allow me to introduce to you Lord and Lady Muxley of Muxley Manor.
It all started 5 Christmases ago. We were throwing an enormous Christmas party here at Muxley Manor.
All going swimmingly until my niece, Harriet Swift Montague Smythe, wife of top-notch city financier, even though he can't add up for the toffee, ate one of the mince pies to our Christmas shindig, and she immediately dropped down dead.
Stone dead. Shock and horror all round.
Shock and horror!
And the following Christmas, exactly the same thing.
Lady Rupert de Rupert, one of the Ruperts, you know, she also ate one of the mince pies to our Christmas shindig, and she also immediately dropped down dead.
And so on. For 3 more years. By which time, some of the guests, surprisingly, were starting to get a bit suspicious.
Yes, thank you. Very convincing.
Well, it don't take a genius to work out that you need to start with the chef. What do you know about him or her?
It's a married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Kilping.
We have served Lord and Lady Muxley, man and boy, for nigh on 55 years and... Sarah! Get out here now! We have served Lord and Lady Muxley Muxley, man and boy for now, on 55 years and...
I'm sorry, dear, but isn't it 56 years, dear?
No, Mr. Kilping, it's 55 years, definitely.
I'm sorry, dear.
Anyway, I does the serving at the table, and he does the cooking. He made...
Exceedingly good tarts.
Cyril! Anyway, that's about all he's good for. That's all he thinks about these days. Tarts, tarts, tarts. And now, as for these horrible murders, I can tell you right now who's been doing them. It's not my husband. He's soft.
Yes, thank you.
Interesting, Miss Maple.
Just one thing, sir. Don't be put off by Lord Muxley. Mad Muxley, as friends call him. He is completely off the rails. His wife is more sensible. If you catch her when she's sober, she has a soft spot for Babysham. Oh, and watch out for the housekeeper, Mrs. Snakeshaft. She's a dark character. Likes to poke her nose in everywhere. Oh, and then there's...
No, don't tell me any more. I don't want to know. Let's go.
You'll have to forgive my husband. He thinks everyone who comes here has come for a job on his railway line.
Good heavens, has he got his own railway line?
Oh no, dear. It's all in his head. He's been like this for the last 20 years. Just humour him, there's a good fellow.
Got to go 12:15 stop. She'll be arriving soon on platform 12. Don't hang around there. Toot toot, old chap. Toot toot.
Absolutely balmy, but harmless. Just treat him like an 8-year-old boy and you'll get on just fine with him. Just don't mention Cynthia to him.
Cynthia?
Shh! We've got company. Mrs. Snakeshaft, go after his lordship and make sure he doesn't frighten the other guests. Oh, and get me another glass of Babysham.
Of course, your ladyship. With great pleasure. I'll go and look after Lord Muxley. Just leave them to me, Mum.
That's our housekeeper. An absolute treasure. May I introduce you to some of the other guests? Thank you. Miss Chips, a frequent visitor with her delightful little dog. But don't offer to join her for poker. She always wins.
Woof woof.
Dr. Morristein from Stuttgart University, you know, a seminal work was on the significance of arsenic and olives in the purple tribes of deepest darkest Cornwall. Miss Gushing from Hollywood, her latest movie entitled Sherlock Holmes and the Martian Belly Dancers, or so she says.
Hello, darlings.
Miss Hopper, a delightful young artist of the modernist era, is powdering her nose upstairs.
Yoo-hoo!
And Sir Benjamin and Dame Nellie Nevis are still having their afternoon tea.
Pass the cream, sis!
Certainly, brother.
Thank you.
They love their food. Explorers, you know.
Всички тези хора не са това, което изглежда.
And this is Countess Ravenskaya. You'll have to forgive her. She's from Bulgaria, you know. An acquaintance of my husband's. They met in the Orient Express, apparently. Good evening, Countess. May I introduce you to... Oh, what did you say your name was?
Oh, it's her.
Shall we say Raymond Chandler, distinguished crime writer, and I'm his personal research assistant.
Мъжете и жените са просто актьори. Те се явяват, измъчват и изпъчват своя част на сцената.
I'm Jackson Pollock, help! There's a dead body in my bedroom!
nobody hear what I said? There's a body in my bedroom.
Another axe-wielding murderer escaped from the asylum this morning, it says in the paper. That's the second one this week.
And it's dead, just lying there. Oh, Jackson Pollock, it's awful.
What is, darling?
The dead body in my bedroom. How many times do I have to say it? There's a dead body in my bedroom.
No need to shout, darling. Why didn't you just say so before? You need to move it before it starts to smell, darling. Or try painting it. Still life.
It says in the paper we're not to venture out alone onto the moors tonight.
Who's for a glass of champagne, darlings? That's what I lived on when I was in Hollywood. Champagne and salami.
My little Flossie loves salami. Salami and Smarties, don't you, darling?
That's a shame. I quite fancy to stroll across the windswept moors battling the elements. That's where I get my best ideas.
Champagne and salami, darlings. That's what we lived on when I was in Hollywood.
Господи, даде едно лице, пък ти си рисуваш друго.
Oh, Miss Goshing, do tell us which movies you starred in when you were in Hollywood.
It's gushing, darling. Glor.
Yes. Some of us can spell in England, my darling. We're not complete savages.
Has anyone seen the cruise train? I've lost the cruise train. It came in on platform 2 on time, but now it's gone. It's not there. It's missing.
It's this way, Lord Muxty. The crew train's out on the back lawn. Don't worry, ladyship. I'll take care of this.
What's it doing there? It should be on platform 2. You can't get decent drivers these days.
Is nobody going to do anything about the dead body in my bedroom? Are you all just going to sit there lifeless like zombies from a late-night movie doing nothing?
Talk to the housekeeper, Mrs. Snakeshaft. She's a real buffer with the bodies. Dead or alive. I used to experiment on dead bodies in my youth. Damn good fun.
Darling, I thought you were meant to be a private eye.
But the very nasibesi.
Who? Me? No, I'm a writer. Raymond Chandler from Muswell Hill. Crime is my speciality.
Not another writer! They seem to be all over the place these days.
My little Flossie likes writers, especially those crime writers, don't you, darling? Anything published yet, Mr. Chandler?
Oh, not yet. Just gathering ideas at the moment. And this is my research assistant, Miss Melody Maple.
But, darling, it says right here on this business card, Mr. Hercules Porritt, the best private detective in all of Highgate and Muswell Hill. Discretion is our byword.
Really? What a coincidence. I've never heard of him. Must be another Hercules Porritt.
No, not another one, sir. We don't know him. Probably best we look him up when we get back to London. For the research, of course. It all sounds a bit fishy to me, darlings.
That'll be Mrs. Cooping's cod and whiskey pie. Sinks the whole place out, but it puts the fur on your chest.
Hairs, darling, hairs.
What? Are they in the house now? I'll get my gun. Quite right, Countess. I agree with you totally. I blame that Lenin and Trotsky giving votes to all the serfs. Absolutely ridiculous. Can't trust the lower orders like those Coopings. Can't tell what's going on in their heads.
Perhaps I should take a look at this body in your room, Miss...
Hopper. Funny Hopper, like the artist. Modern art is my speciality. I just love throwing paint all over a canvas. Like Jackson Pollock?
Just to get some ideas for my next novel.
Oh, right. Of course. Right this way. Watch out for the paint. I'll show you.
There's no need to do that, Miss Hopper. Allow us. Probably best we do this alone. Don't want to contaminate the evidence. You wait here. Help yourself to a mince pie.
Would anyone like to try one of Mr. Kilpin's mince pies? I've heard they're very tasty, although I've never tried one myself. You see, I'm vegetarian.
I wouldn't say no to mince pie, darling. But, you see, I've got to watch my figure. You know, I've been compared to Sophia Loren from Naples, you know, and Marilyn Monroe.
Keep worried a vampire, you know. I saw the play one Wednesday afternoon in a flea pit in Portobello Square.
Well, What did you find?
Which room is yours, Miss Hopper?
The red room at the front of the house, overlooking that cesspit of a river.
She means the Blue Nile, darling. The river that runs past the house.
Whereabouts in the room was the body?
Right beside the bed. You couldn't miss it.
Man or woman, did you notice?
Man. No. Woman. No.
Did it have a dress on?
Yes. No. Oh, Jackson Pollock, I don't know. I was so shocked I took one look at it and ran.
Good thinking, darling. That's what I tell all my friends in Hollywood. If you see a dead body on your doorstep, get the hell out of there, darling.
By God! There's a dead body in the conservatory! Who knows this? Haven't you seen it?
Well, it certainly was not moving. It was as still as that man-eating python we encountered in '65 in the jungles of Peru.
Ah, Sir Benjamin Nevis and Dame Nellie Nevis. How good to see you again. You're just in time for the 6:54 to Littlehampton, leaving soon on platform 11A.
He is absolutely bonkers. Wasn't me. I mean, I thought I was mad, but...
Holy mousetrap, look at the time. It's nearly time for the 4:50 from Paddington. Anyone for Pontefract? No? Cornet, Dawlish, Skipton, Clitheroe, Blackpool North, Frankfurt, Mesopotamia and Constantinople. No? Got to rush the blue trains due in.
Another body?
Wait! You mean there's more than one dead body?
I've just seen one in my room upstairs.
Anybody fancy a game of poker? My little Flossie loves a game of cards in the evening.
Do you have a mince pie, please? My husband just made them to his own special recipe. About the only thing he can do. Pathetic he is.
Very true, dear. Very true.
It's a very tempting offer.
Now, talking of mince pies, I don't suppose anyone here has ever tasted red spider stew before, have you? Now that's a real delicacy. My brother, Benjamin, and I were trekking along the Silk Road in '83 when we came across a nomadic tribe in the middle of nowhere, and they served us a dish of red spider stew, hairy legs and all. Now that's what I call a proper meal.
I think the situation is getting serious now. That's 2 dead bodies. Perhaps we should send for the police.
The police? It's not that serious, is it?
Listen, everybody. Nobody touch these mince pies. I believe they may be poisoned.
Can my little Flossie have a mince pie, please?
Ah! 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 Oh no! No! Goodbye, sis! You should have warned us before.
Well, that reminds me when Smythe Jones, our guide, ate that poisonous mango in '65. We left without a guide for the rest of the Congo.
Quite right, Countess. I agree with you wholeheartedly. The price of pistachio nuts these days is astronomical.
Look! A miracle!
Just my little Jake. Try a similar thing on the top of Mount Everest. After we reached the summit, of course, me and my sis and a group of my chums were just sitting down to enjoy our Cornish pasties.
Pasties.
Oh, right, sorry. Anyways, we were enjoying our Cornish pasties when I decided it'd be a real hoot if I decided to roll up the summit. My chums thought it was hilarious.
Well, much preferred the South Pole, Jake, brother.
That was a good one.
So now we're back to 2 dead bodies.
Well, 1 actually, because we couldn't find any evidence of a body in Miss Bunny Hopper's room.
What? It was definitely there. I saw it as plain as life.
Well, we can see the conservatory from here, can't we, Flossie? And we can't see anybody in there. Can
Whoa.
we, darling?
There was definitely a dead body. There was a knife sticking out of its back, and there was blood everywhere. And I mean, like, everywhere. I have swam across the Amazon River with crocodiles snapping at my heels the entire way. Haven't I, sis? Certainly. So I know a dead body when I see one.
Intriguing. Miss Maple, I think I'll go and see what Lady Muxley knows about all of this.
Yes, yes, before the next baby sham.
Anybody fancy a game of Cluedo?
Or a mince pie. Exceedingly tasty.
Lady Muxley, can I have a word with you in private?
Good evening, Mr. Muswell Hill. My bedroom is on the 3rd floor, and I'm able to receive gentlemen friends from midnight onwards.
No, you've got the wrong end of the stick there, Lady Muxley. Wanted to talk to you about these murders that have been taking place.
Murders? What murders, Mr. Muswell Hill?
I was wondering if you had any suspicions about who might be doing them.
I thought you'd never ask. Well, you see, that Bulgarian countess seems a bit suspicious to me. I often find her whispering in Bulgarian to my husband. But, I ask, what's the point when he can barely understand a word of simple English?
Interesting.
Would you like a mince pie? My husband will get very upset if you don't eat them all. He's famous for his tarts.
Exceedingly good tarts.
No, we've already said nobody said eat the mince pies until we have solved this mystery.
There's nothing wrong with my hubby's tarts. There is something wrong with the mean old so-and-so. He snores at night, and he never saves any of the champagne dribbles to me after all the big parties. But his pies are delicious. Now I can tell you what I think about these
Mrs.
so-called...
Kilping, kindly return to the kitchen and take this with you.
Of course, your ladyship.
Is there anything I can get your ladyship? Another glass of baby sham?
Good idea. Let's make it 2.
Countess Ravenskaya, I see you're reading the complete works of Shakespeare in English. Could I trouble you to borrow a copy?
По-добре motherwood, отколкото wood мъдрец. Of course. So you do speak English, Countess?
Well, naturally. I was born in Wood Green in London. Do you know the place, Mr. Chandler?
No, I'm sorry to say that I don't know that neck of the woods. But do tell me, why do you insist on using a rare Bulgarian dialect most of the time?
Well, so that Lord Muxley can understand me. And not Lady Muxley. You look surprised. Let me tell you my story. But first, you must swear on my grandmother's heart that you will not repeat a word of what I am about to tell you. Otherwise, I will have to invoke the curse of the 7 Bulgarian vampires who will appear in your bedroom one night and tear you limb from limb until there is no trace of your dead body to be found.
Mademoiselle, you claim to be Countess Ravenskaya of Piccadilly, I believe.
Indeed. But the title is a mere stage name for my parents, the famous illusionist duo from Belgrade. Now you see them, now you don't. Have you not heard of the amazing Bulgarian bedbugs? Never caught in the act, too quick for the eye, etc., etc. Oh yes, my parents were a great hit in Brighton, Blackpool, and other similar seaside towns. But, as I said, I was born at Wood Green, on the Piccadilly line, just as the train was approaching the station. I was nearly a Bounds End baby if my mother had delayed any longer. Father was always partial to the Piccadilly line, so this was very fortunate.
Ah, the Piccadilly connection. I see.
Yes, but the Countess bit is a little more tricky. You see, it is loosely based on my mother's claim that she was the great-great-great-great-grandniece of Count Dracula.
Dracula? I didn't know Dracula had any family.
Nor did he. But it looked very persuasive on their advertising billboards.
And what became of the amazing Bulgarian bedbugs?
They disappeared. One rainy Saturday afternoon, when I was assisting in their disappearing magic act, I couldn't remember how to bring them back, so they never returned. The small but polite audience sat and waited half an hour, and in their absence gave them a standing ovation.
And what did you do?
Bow deeply, of course, and thanked the audience.
I mean, being without your parents.
Well, Lord Muxley was in the audience that afternoon, and he was so impressed with my ability to make people disappear that he offered me an immediate post from effect that very afternoon with Her Majesty's Secret Service. The Secret Service!
You mean?
Yes, we're on a mission right now. Smugglers.
Smugglers! You mean diamonds? Ivory?
No. Fiery water from Mount Etna. You see, I have fluent Italian because my parents shared top of the bill in Torquay with Franco, the Sicilian fire eater.
What is fiery water?
Alcohol, 99% proof, made from Etna's volcanic lava. And Lord Muxley has discovered an illegal trade intent on flooding the German Christmas markets this season and putting mulled wine out of business, especially as it being smuggled out of Sicily by a ruthless gang of English senior citizen tourists under the guise of a saga holiday.
A saga holiday? But why do you only speak Bulgarian to Lord Muxley?
Well, Lord Muxley has no Italian, but he does have a little Bulgarian. Lord Muxley! I've told them everything, Henry. They forced it out of me.
You mean you've told them that we're super spies working on the personal instructions of Prince Charles himself?
Yes, but they won't betray us, Henry. They're on a mission too. Hercules Porritt, Private Eye.
That's our cover blown already. But why Bulgarian?
You see, many years ago, Lord Muxley enrolled in an adult education evening class for what he thought was to be budgerigar breeding for beginners. Turned out it was Bulgarian for beginners, but he was too well brought up to leave. All this train nonsense is just part of his cover.
And what if the gang of smugglers can speak Bulgarian?
No chance. They're English. They don't do foreign languages. They expect everyone to speak English.
Now look here, my lord and countess. My assistants and I would very much appreciate it if you did not divulge our true identities. We will do likewise for you.
Would you like one of my husband's mince pies?
The Budish, ili da ne budiš. Tuj je prosit.
What have you been up to, husband?
I don't know what you mean, dearest.
Do you know what I mean? Adding your special ingredient to the mince pies again. You know what happened last time.
It's all good, healthy stuff, dearest. Nothing but the very best. I'm not the one poisoning people. I just like to experiment with unusual tastes.
Yes, but even I know that mince pies shouldn't have curry powder in them.
I don't think you should be telling me what to put in my mince pies. I could have been a top chef in some big London restaurant if I wanted. My sausage rolls were admired throughout the East End of London. But no, we had to move here to Muxley Manor just because your mother wanted to try her hand at trout fishing.
Oh, here we go again. Blame it all on my poor dead mother's love of trout fishing.
I do blame it on your mother. The best day of my life was when I made us a funeral pyre out of your mother's old fishing rods. It burned long into the night, and you thought I was just burning some old cookbooks.
Have you finished?
Yes, dear, sorry.
So, what have you added to the mince pies this time?
Just a few pilchards, tails and quail's livers, dearest, nothing else.
You'll be the death of me, you will.
Yes, dear.
Miss Maple, we're going to have to split up. going to have to split up the suspects into small groups and tackle them separately. I mean, we've got 9 or 10 possible suspects here. Far too many for a conventional whodunit. If we dismiss Lord and Lady Muxley and Countess Ravenscar is so obviously unclear.
I think we can forget Mr. and Mrs. Kilping. They seem too stupid to plan and execute a murder. So, that leaves us with Dr. Morristein,
Bonnie Hopper, Nellie Nevis, and Miss Chips,
Benjamin Nevis, Gloria Gushing, and Mrs. Snakeshaft.
Right, so here's my plan. We have 6 main suspects.
7.
No, it's 6. Oh yes, sorry, it's 7. I suggest we concoct a reason for getting 3 of the suspects together in the library and the other 4 in the conservatory.
Where we will interrogate them until one of them cracks under the pressure and admits to being the murderer.
Oh yes, that sounds a good idea. Hadn't thought about that. Where did you get all these good ideas from, Miss Maple?
They always do it in the movies, you know, good cop, bad cop routine.
What? What are you talking about, Miss Maple? Anyway, we can't do that. Interrogating them one by one would take much too long. We'd never finish this damn play. No, I suggest I find a reason for getting the men together in the library and you get the women in the conservatory.
Has there been notes under their doors? Meet in the library at 6 o'clock sharp, or meet in the conservatory at 6 o'clock sharp?
Excellent plan, Miss Maple. Let's go.
Mr. Hercules, what will we do with the suspects once they're in the library and the conservatory?
Oh, well, we'll lock them in, and then we're going to spy on them from our advantage points and note down everything they say of significance.
And why will we do this?
Because, and here I am showing off my psychological expertise, it is well known by all psychologists that the murderer or murderess within a small group setting have a burning passion to reveal their identity to the people around them. It's a well-known fact, Miss Maple. Let's get to it pronto.
It seems like a silly ploy to me.
Damn inconvenience this power could. Can't do any of my experiments now. But then, there is always a power blackout of some sort in a play like this. Where am I? Could it be the library?
I wonder who put this note under our door, Flossie. The note says, meet in the library at 6 o'clock. Well, this is the library, isn't it, Flossie? I have a funny feeling that we're not supposed to... What do you think, Flossie?
What time is it?
6. 6 o'clock precisely. I thought I just heard the clock chime. I said, it's 6 o'clock precisely. I thought I heard the clock chime. Six times. Thank you.
Strange. 6 o'clock, it all feels very strange.
I say, don't I know you from somewhere before? Were you part of Colonel Bump's project to get a spacecraft up to Jupiter fueled only by cabbage? No? Oh, well,
I might be a mad scientist, but I'm not that dotty.
Strange. I could have sworn I've seen you from somewhere before.
Hello? Hello? Oh, it's you, darlings. Was it you, darlings, that slipped me a note, darlings?
No, I got a note. It had told me to meet in the conservatory at 6 o'clock as well. Someone must have slipped it under our doors.
Very strange, darling. Sounds like something out of a Hollywood B-movie. Glamorous film star, crazy modern artist, Indiana Jones's sister. Spooky setting, strange note slipped under the door.
And a big twisted housekeeper, the Daphne du Maurier novel. Oh! Slingshot. Did you get an invite too? Why not? After all, I probably know more about this house and its ghostly stirrings than anyone else here. Apart from the mistress, Lady Eleanor Gwendoline Muxley. Such a sweet child she was. And look at her now, addicted to Babysham. I knew myself she should never have married that signal operator of the North-North-West Railway Company.
Oh well, darling, we all make mistakes at some point. I could tell you a few I made when I was in Hollywood, darling. Like marrying that no-good bum Archie Andrews. Boy, was he a loser.
Men? Wouldn't touch them with a harpoon. I much prefer a solid hippopotamus. Far more reliable in its habits. And cleaner. Take my brother, for instance. He even got these notes mixed up.
Who do you think is responsible for all these murders then? It's very strange how all of these bodies keep going missing. And did you get a note asking you to meet in the conservatory? Or the library at 6 o'clock?
No! My sister got a note telling her to go to the library at 6 o'clock. But I got a note telling me to go to the conservatory at 6 o'clock. Oh no, this is the conservatory, isn't it?
Tell him, Flossie. He's got it wrong, hasn't he? This isn't the conservatory, is it? Silly little man.
Oh, well, I'd better be on my way then. Strange! This door seems to be locked! It's almost as if someone, or maybe something, has deliberately locked us in here. To secure a confession from one of us! Oh no!
Nobody panic! We must adopt a scientific solution to the problem! If only I'd brought my Bunsen burner, and some test tubes, and my sulfuric acid, and a copy of the periodic table!
Oh no, this is not good. This reminds me exactly of the time when me and my sis went exploring in the outer depths of Mongolia in '89. Oh, it was horrible. Bodies kept disappearing left and right. Maybe it was the wolves, but maybe it wasn't. Oh, do you have any wolves around here?
Listen, while I've been up in my room, praying Kate about, I've been doing some thinking. And I think that the mince pie murderer is that Dr. Brunhilde Morrowstein.
What makes you say that, darling?
She's a scientist. And she's creepy. She has test tubes in her room. I've seen them. Anyone who carries test tubes around with them is a murderer in my book. I think that she's experimenting on us all, using the mince pies.
Listen, darling. Lovely plot for my next Broadway play, but I've met a lot of mad scientists in the movies, and there's something about Dr. Morrowstein that makes me think, well, she's a phony. She's no scientist.
Well, none of us are what we appear to be, are we?
Anybody fancy a mince pie? Dr. Morrowstein? Sir Benjamin?
No! We were told not to eat the mince pies under any circumstances, Miss Chips!
Well, they didn't seem to have done my little Flossie any harm.
You know, I think it's the bunny hopper, whatever. Have you seen her paintings? She calls them modern. I call them postmodern.
Yes! But what is her motive?
Well, that's obvious. All of that painting has driven her crazy. You know, she tried to sell one of them to me, but I told her what to do with her paintings. She went loco. She started attacking me like crazy, but luckily, I soon saw her off with my jujitsu, karate, and certified ninja kicks.
Actually, you're wrong there, Sir Benjamin. It's not Miss Bonnyhopper who's the murderer, is it, Flossie? Flossie knows who the murderer is. Would you like to know who the murderer is?
Yes.
Well, if you come down here and get really close to Flossie, she will whisper the name of the murderer in your ear. Go on, Flossie, you tell this nice man what you know.
My money, darlings, is on that Bulgarian countess. Oh, no. No, it's not her. She's a member of Her Majesty's Secret Service in disguise. Oops. I wasn't supposed to say anything. Ignore everything I just said.
Oh, Miss Maple, what are you doing lurking in the shadows? I should be the one lurking in the shadows, spying on the guests, not you. So, Countess Raven Skyra is in disguise. I wonder who else is in disguise this evening. Still, all will be revealed soon. Really? Have you had a premonition, or do you dabble with your Ouija board? I've dabbled with dark arts myself in the past, especially with my darling Lady Eleanor Gwendoline Muxley, threw away the best years of her life by marrying that foolish railway mechanic. No. I've got no time for all that stuff.
Oh, God! What?
What?
Oh,
Tell
no.
us, Sir Benjamin,
Oh.
what did she say?
Oh, no, she said.
You mean?
Yes!
Oh,
I know!
I told you, Flossie knows everything, don't you, darling?
I've just got a feeling that very soon Mr. Chandler will ask us all to attend in the dining room, where he will reveal to us the identity of the mince pie murderer.
Oh, I think you're spot on there, darling. I can practically hear Mr. Whodunit calling right now.
Well, if that's the case, I suggest we all retire to the dining room, where all will be revealed soon. Our dog has its day, and this day's mine.
Oh, wonderful! Finally, let there be life!
I hope Mr. Porritt knows what he's doing. I've lost this pot.
I've assembled you all here in the dining room this evening because I have some very important information to share.
I'm sorry. I was just in the hall with the
That's okay. Start again. I've assembled you all here this evening because I have some very
Sorry, I was in the kitchen.
Sorry, I'll start again. I've assembled you all here this evening because I have some very
Do
important...
get on with it. The 12:15 won't wait forever. I need to be on platform 6 in the next 6 minutes. You better get these murders wrapped up in the next 4.5 minutes. Starting now.
По-добре да подраниш 3 минути, отколкото да закъснеш 1 минута.
Right, let's cut all this nonsense and get to the meat of the matter right away. My name is Raymond... No, it's not. It's Hercules Porritt, private eye and the meanest man in Highgate and Muswell Hill, hired by Lady Muxley to solve these mince pie murders.
Just before you go any further, Mr. Hercules Porritt, I have something to reveal to everybody. My name is not, in fact, Dr. Brunhild Morrisside. Trust me, I know. And I am not, in fact, a mad scientist. In fact, I know nothing about science. My name is Cynthia Morrow, and I'm a talent scout for Perky Pictures Incorporated. And I have been dispatched by my studio bosses to secure the services of one Gloria Golding for our latest blockbuster movie entitled Rory Savage and the Monsters from Mount Etna. Gloria, will you be our leading lady? Will you jet off with me to Naples this very night to where your leaving van awaits you, and then on to Palermo Studios?
Oh, you bet, darling. Give me 2 minutes to cut my bikini. Marilyn Monroe, Sophia Loren, here I come.
Някои са родени велики, други получават величието, а върху трети величието се смизхижда. What a surprise! The Sicilian connection again.
Right, shall we get back to the business in hand?
Just wait right there, Mr. Torrance. I, too, have something very, very, very important to reveal to everyone here tonight. I know. I am not, in fact, Sir Benjamin Nevis. And my sister is not my sister. In fact, we have never been farther than Scunthorpe in our entire professional careers. I am Detective Inspector Neville, and this is my sergeant, Petrella McKay. And we have been employed by none other than Lord Muxley to find the identity of his missing, long-lost daughter. And I am now in the position to reveal to everyone here tonight who that missing person is. The missing person is none other than the one and only Mr. Kilping!
That's a turn up for the books, isn't it?
I am very, very, very sorry about that, everyone. It is not, in fact, Mr. Kilping, but it is, in fact, none other than the one and only Bunny Hopper!
Oh, Jackson Pollock forever! Daddy, oh daddy! Mwah, mwah. I'm so happy! Oh, tunes of happiness! Oh, Jackson Pollock! Oh, now I can afford my own studio! I don't know anything about this!
Well, I can't really go into details right now. It would take much too long. But I'm sure you can ask Lord Muxley about all of his affairs. No, not of details.
Even more of a surprise, Henry has been busy in the Secret Service.
Shall we get back to these mince
Just
pie
a minute,
nerds?
everybody. I too have a secret to reveal to everybody this evening. You will no doubt be shocked to learn that I am not that cranky old spinster who gambles in Las Vegas and who dotes on her dog. In fact, this mutt is stuffed and stinks to high heaven. No, I am Chief Inspector Chipperfield, employed by Lady Muxley to track down her long-lost son, Wilfred, who I can now reveal is...
Wait! Don't tell me! I don't want to know! I don't want to know!
But I want to know, and quick before the 6:05 arrives.
Oh.
Please tell us. Reveal all, Miss Chief Inspector Chipperfield. Reveal all. Which one of these is Wilfred?
Step forward, Wilfred. Your time has come.
Well, it's got to be me. I'm the only one left.
Празна силен звук.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Ние знаем какво сме, но не знаем какво може да стане. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Her Majesty's Secret Service, I am arresting The lot of you.
Oh,
For having in your possession several bottles of smuggled fiery water from Mount Etna.
I thought that last batch of baby shot was quite strong.
But what about me, the bitter, twisted housekeeper full of anger and jealousy?
Yes, we all know. You're not really Evelyn Snakeshaft, you're...
Not a Bulgarian bedbug, I hope.
Anybody fancy a mince pie?
Don't mind if I do.
Exceedingly good tarts, isn't that so, dear? But before we finish this silly little farce, I feel I must reveal to all here present that I am not, in fact, the downtrodden husband of this woman here. I am, in fact...
Cyril, stop it! What are you doing? You are my downtrodden husband, and you always will be, and you better not forget it.
Sorry, dear.
These mince tarts haven't killed anyone yet, have they?
So if you're not the bitter, twisted housekeeper, who are you?
I am...
Oh dear. I think you may have had a bit too much to drink.
You're the drunk one, she's dead!
I guess we'll never know the true identity of the bitter, twisted housekeeper.
Perhaps there'll be a sequel. After all, we still don't know the identity of the mince pie murderer. Eh, Mr. Porritt?
No, I'm sorry, but I've had enough of this detective lark. I will change my name to Raymond Shanlock, jet off to California, and try my hand at writing crime novels. Miss Maple, can you type?
Of course, Raymond. I'll be right there, by your side as usual.
Anybody fancy a mince pie? No? I'll have one myself.
Yes, dear. Do have one.
Is there a policeman in this house?
Oh, I'm a policeman.
I'm a policeman.
I'm a policeman, Detective Inspector
I'm a
Neville.
policeman, Sergeant McCann.
I'm a policeman. A secret one, in
That
fact.
makes me a policeman's wife. And I'm a policeman's daughter. You are certainly are not.
No, I'm the policeman here. Well, I wasn't.
Well, I was his personal
I'm a
assistant.
policeman.
Don't be stupid, Cyril. You are not a policeman.
That's what I was going to say. I'm a policeman.
Enough! This is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Ni sees much from it, he's but from its voyage as nastilanda. He's led to va, he's chesum. Good night, dear audience. Good night.